The SixtySimthings GT3 Series 4 League moves over to Misano in Italy. Well, how did it go? Well, watch the film and you'll find out. Well, hello and welcome to another episode of A Wolfie's Wheels. You may have already seen a slightly different introduction to this film, and that is because today this is the first film I'm releasing using some new video editing software. I was kind of forced into the issue by my trusty 2015 MacBook Air suddenly deciding it didn't want to play anymore, and me being too tight to go and lash out on a new MacBook just for editing videos. So I'm trying some new video editing software on the Windows machine that I use for sim racing. So we'll just have to see how that goes. Anyway, that's beside the point. Today we're still following the SixtySimthings GT3 Season 4, and we've gone over to Misano. Now Misano is based in Italy. It's located on the northeast coast of Italy, not far from Rimini, give or take 1.5 hours from Bologna Airport, and about 2.5 hours if you fly into Florence. If you manage to fly yourself into Rimini, it's not far, it's about 10 kilometres. So it's probably not the easiest place to get to from the UK, but yeah, it's certainly a good circuit to drive on the sim anyway. The circuit itself was first used in 1972, modified to its current layout in 2006, when it actually changed to start running itself clockwise instead of anti-clockwise like it used to before 2006. It's currently about 4.25 kilometres long, 16 corners, and in 2012 it was renamed after the local motorcycling legend, the late great Marco Simonelli, who tragically lost his life out in Malaysia. The track itself is actually no stranger to tragic events, and I'm not going to dwell on them here. If you're that interested, please feel free to look it up. It's all on Wikipedia, but I'm not going to dwell on that side of things here. The track itself, the real life track record in a GT3 car is 1 minute 31 something, and the fast sim racers, Adamo Castorino for example, is doing it in sort of 1:32.7s, and I'll put the actual numbers on here. He said hopefully, because this is new video editing software and I'm pretty sure I can put that sort of thing on there. Our fast guy on this occasion was Andy Policott, who was doing it in 1:35s, high 1:35s, which is a good time. But most of the group were running in the 1:37s, including myself, and as I'll put my time sort of down there. We're going to walk down through the grid now, and as you can see in pole position is Andy Policott in the BMW, and on second place is car number 722 Stuart in the McLaren, followed by number 36 Andy Gore in the 296 Ferrari, then number 98 Steve in the BMW. I'm in the Ferrari in fifth, and Mike Hansen is in sixth position in the Sol Aston. And we'll do our usual helicopter camera of the first lap. We've got the start, Andy in the black Lambo, Stuart in the green McLaren, up to the start, and here we go. So we're following on this occasion Andy Gore, who's car number 13. This is very much in the hope that we can keep most of the cars in the picture all at once. We can get a bit spread out. The grid's only 6 today. Very often it can be sort of anywhere really between 4 and 8, depends on what people are doing. After the first corners, it's relatively compact still. Just losing myself and Mike off the back. going to be tricky to get right. And this hairpin, nobody ever seems to know whether you should take it as a V or just how. But it's crucial because you've got a long straight coming up. I say straight, it's not actually straight, but you've got a couple of flat out corners on it. Andy, after less than a lap, is 0.8 ahead. Or 1.5 seconds as I go across that timing line. I'm not even in shot. Come past the pit entrance, just there. Last corner, and then coming up to going over the line, the end of the first lap. Then we'll go across and do the 1 lap ride from the driver's seat of my car, just to see what it looks like. It all looked fairly spread out on the previous helicopter cams, but as I say many times, it always looks a lot closer when you're actually down here in the thick of it. It also seems a hell of a lot faster than it looks on the film as well. I don't know whether that's something to do with the new editing software, whether it's slightly slowed it down. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. Coming up here to a reasonably tricky left-hander, it can go badly wrong. Still reasonably close. Get this right and it rewards you. It feels good. Get it wrong, it feels horrendous. On that gravel bit there, not gravel, it's just a big load of runoff. And this peculiar bit here. And then get your foot down as early and as hard as you can, all the way down this, call it a straight. Just don't lift for this one here, this right-hander, keep it pinned. Or keep it pinned for this next right-hander here, and brake for this next one. And then brake for this much tighter one. Get yourself to the right-hand side of the track, cut this left corner, entrance to the pits, another left, cut that one. And we come with a line, the completion of the lap. We'll follow now Steve Hancock in car number 98 on the old TV cam for a lap or so. He's very close again to Andy Gore. You may remember these two from the battles at Spa. If you haven't watched the film, certainly part 2 of that Spa film is well worth watching, I think. I really enjoyed watching it back. He's not letting Andy get away. And there's Mike and myself in the background also having a battle. So you can sort of splitting into positions 1 and 2 close to each other, positions 3 and 4 close to each other, and positions 5 and 6 close to each other. And just as the lap goes on, that becomes even more sort of apparent. You know, there's big gaps between 2 and 3, and 4 and 5. We're now get on board with Mike Hansen, who's chasing me down. As we saw in the previous clip, the battle is sort of splitting up. So the first 2, then the second 2, and then the third 2. And this is Mike's eye view, sort of chasing me down. and the other two are not actually out of sight, so nothing is sort of given up yet at this stage by anybody. It's very early stages in the race. To watch the track limits on that corner. The track limits on this track do seem a bit odd at times. Sometimes you can take a lot of the curb and other times not so much. It's easy to end up there. Down to this strange sort of two apexed hairpins. Power down nice and early, flat down the straight. Plenty of flat curb, over to the left, over to the right, brake, 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 throw it in, over, brake, down, 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 turn tight. And then round the final corner to complete the lap. So now we join Andy Policott, who's in the lead for a lap in the Lambo, showing us how it should be done. I always like to put one of the fast guys' laps in, just to give an idea as to how the better racers, the faster guys, are actually taking the different lines, different speeds on the different corners. Sometimes, of course, on these corners, slower ends up faster, you know, slow and fast out. Three laps is 1.5 seconds ahead of Stewart, a lot further ahead of the rest of the pack. That's 1.5 plus 5 is 6.8, 7.7, 8, we're about 9 seconds ahead of Mike and myself overall, which is pretty good going after 3 laps. I mean, come on. Plenty of curb over to the left, keep pinned, brake hard, nice line through there, keep that one tight, over to the right, over to the left, over the curbs, brake hard, throw it in, get your foot down, and over the line we go in 1:35.9, a good lap. We rejoin Steve Hancock, who's still in hot pursuit of Andy Gore. These two are very competitive with each other, well, with everybody, but you know, they seem to spend a lot of time together on the track. So let's just enjoy the fight from the onboard of Steve. Get good drive out of here, very important. I generally keep more to the right than that. Not saying it's the right thing to do. It's always interesting seeing other people's lines, seeing how you can improve your own. It's a good thing about ACC, keep that one tight, get your foot down. As we go under the bridge, we'll start looking at it all from the TV cam. I hope you like the transition. We're going past the pit entrance into the last corner, and over the line we go. Back on board now with Mike, who is not letting me go. He's putting me under all sorts of pressure here. Am I enjoying it? Well, I am actually. Yeah, it's nice to be racing with someone. I actually kind of think by about now that although I qualified slightly faster than Mike, he is probably a bit faster than I am. But you know, it's one thing catching someone, it's something else getting around. As long as I defend fairly, which I believe I do, then that's kind of his problem, not mine. Keep it tight, keep it out. Not the best of lines, and it's caught me up a bit there. So it's just not letting me get any clean air. I don't know how hard Mike is trying. Yeah, I genuinely am trying. Hang on, what's that? What's happened there? I'm slightly off put by that. I just slightly missed my braking point because of that. But we'll go back and have a look at that one just to see what happened there. It looked like the other Ferrari of Andy, but we'll jump back and have a look. But we'll finish this lap off first. Over the line. So let's take a look at this, see what happened with poor Andy here. He's very close here with Steve, they're fighting, a bit of door banging, crank, but I don't think that's anything to do with it. Steve's still in front. Yeah. So we must be on this next corner. Quite a long way out to the right. No. This one, oh yeah, no. He just loses it. Maybe just carrying slightly too much speed. Wowza. What did it look like from my point of view? Sort of going the passenger seat, or the non-existent passenger seat in the Ferrari. Go around this corner. It all looks good in front. Not getting away. Oh, yeah, that's where it goes there. Yep, promotion of a space. Then they're going to jump on board with Stuart Giles, who's in hot pursuit of Andy Policott. So, as I sort of mentioned a couple of times, the race itself seems to have split itself into sort of three mini races. So there's between Andy and Stuart, between Steve and Andy Gore, although that race is now kind of over, and between Mike Hansen and myself. So let's just watch the faster boys have a quick fight round the track. This is after 6 laps. Stuart is only 1.5 seconds behind Andy, and the rest of us are, as you can see, much further back. I think it's fair to say both these guys are very much trying. Power down. A slightly bigger gap now after the next timing line. He's losing a bit of ground is Stuart, but I mean he's absolutely flying, as indeed is Andy. Lots of sawing of the wheel, which I think maybe the difference is that these guys definitely spend more time correcting it than I do. I'm not pushing hard enough. Now we're back on board with Mike, who is a couple of laps later still in hot pursuit of yours truly. And I think it's fair to say at this stage I am beginning to feel the heat. You can see just coming up here, it's a slight mistake, a bit too quick into that corner. And he's definitely gaining on me. I'm still determined to hang on to this 4th place. I think certainly this stage I do think I'm holding him up. A little bit too much power for me coming out of the corner there. Steve Hancock is still within sight now. Mike's going to go for the outside line, I think. So I shut the lower inside line off, brake a bit earlier. It's a long way around the outside there. Come around this awkward double apex hairpin. He gets the power on a bit quicker than me. I really wonder how long I can withstand this pressure. Now, these 60-something league races, there always is a compulsory pit stop where you must take fuel. Wow, look how close he is there. Good job at that tight line. It's a long way around the outside there as well. But anyway, yeah, I was saying about the pit stops. Yeah, so there's a compulsory pit stop, and the pit window is actually open. And of course, I do have at some point to do that. So I seriously need to think about whether I should pit, hope for a good stop, hope that Mike doesn't have a good lap while I'm in the pits, and perhaps also doesn't have such a good pit stop. But I just want to get some space between him and I, really. So that's sort of exactly what I'm thinking at this stage of the lap. So yeah, I think I might just give myself a little bit of a break. But of course Mike won't know this, so he's just going to be pushing as hard as he possibly can, hoping that I'll make a mistake, which is of course not unheard of. Trying to get round me by any other fair means that you can. It's all over me here like a cheap suit. No, I'm not saying Mike's a cheap suit. Anyway, we're cutting out to the outside cam. Very close. And I've definitely decided I'm going to go in the pits. So Mike doesn't know that. He pushed it very hard there, did Mike? Yeah, there's me shooting into the pits. Good pit entry. Get the thing slowed down in time. And just wander down the pit lane. It's not so far to the pits here. Oh look, there's Stu in front. He's going, okay. But yes, it's not so far to the pits. Up on the jacks. Fuel going in. Not a bad stop. And we go. Go. Let's say it's a fairly long way out of the pits here. I'm still in front of Andy Gore. I don't know where he is on the track. But I would obviously get a blue flag shown to me if there was an approaching faster car. And I'm not seeing any flags. So there we go, limit line, foot down. And let's hope for a good outlap. Meanwhile, Mike decides he's also going to make his compulsory pit stop and goes in, absolutely no problems getting the thing slowed down. And yeah, in front of him is Steve Hancock. So they're both doing the pit stop at the same time. Now in a minute you'll just see coming up one of the problems that you can have doing the pit stops here if another car is in the pits with you. You have to stop in a specific pit box for your car, and you can't always see it if it's in front of another car like that. So Mike's view would be completely blind. The most awkward thing to have to do is that. Not good. But I don't know, is that enough to give him a poor stop and me to get round him? He's leaving already, and where am I? Am I on the track? I don't know. I can see on my heads-up display from my driver's view that he's going to be coming out of the pits. And look, there's me in the background. He's got to go round here. Who's going to get to the apex first? This is the question. He's in the restricted bit, he's got his foot down. And no, oh no. So I was in front of him before the pit stop, and now I'm behind him. This is what it looked like. absolutely breaks your heart when this happens. So come around here, and there he is. Can I get, no, I can't do it. So, okay, I've got an advantage still though, because I have been out of the pits for an entire lap and my tyres have got a little bit of heat in them, and this is Mike's out lap, so I might be able to push him on cold tyres to do something stupid, or I might just be a bit quicker through the bends in that anyway. So let's just see what I can do. Let's just stick with him. So yeah, brake nice and a bit later than Mike there. He's got his foot down. I don't know. When I'm in 5th, I qualified 5th, so maybe it's not such a bad result. And Mike's in front of me, but Andy is behind. Let's just see what happens for the rest of the lap. Of course, we did have at one stage lots of little races going on. We had Andy and Stu, first and second, and we had Steve and Andy Gore, third and fourth, and Mike taking 6th. But it's realistically now at this stage of the race, which is only about, I don't know, halfway through, it's only really Mike and I who are sort of in any sort of contention with each other. And I'm 1.2 seconds behind, 24 seconds ahead of Andy. I don't know why we can't catch Mike, so we'll just keep on. And I think I'm going to probably settle for 5th. Let's just settle for 5th. But I'm still going to push it, because if he makes a mistake, I might be able to jump past. So we'll go around here. And what happens? Oh my God, he's done it. He's done it. He's done it. Oh, I've thrown it away again. Oh, let's have a look at that from the outside in slow motion. It goes wrong from here. I think just a bit too much power, then I end up on that side there with dirt foot in the gravel, and I come round and smack. That's my car well and truly spoilt. In fact, spoilt to the extent that the steering wheel has to be at a right angle, a real angle to even go straight, and I'm getting the meatball flags. The meatball flag is a flag that says you must return to the pits or face disqualification. Now, there's more, I've got 3 laps in which to pit or face disqualification, so I'm rapidly doing the mental arithmetic to see if I can actually get away with it, and I can't, I decide, so I'm going to have to pit. 52 seconds worth of damage in the pits, and while this happens, everyone goes round. And the rest of the race is a bit of a procession, so we'll just cut now to the finishing line, and across the line in first place is Andy Policott in the Lamborghini. Followed in second place by Stuart Charles in the McLaren 720. Third place goes to Steve Hancock in the M4 BMW GT3. Mike Hansen picking up in 4th position. And Andy Gore and myself are so far behind we don't even get film crossing the line. So this is Andy near the line, and this is me near the line. So that's how it ended. And there you have it, another race where I managed to throw everything away. I don't know what it is at the moment, but whether I'm just struggling a bit to concentrate, but it seems to be going quite badly towards the end of the races of late. Anyway, let's just have a look at a confirmation of the results. And as you can see on the overlay, you can see in first place was Andy Policott in the Lamborghini Huracan. Second was Stuart Charles in the 720 McLaren. Steve Hancock came in 4th in the BMW GT3 M4. Mike Hansen got 4th place in the V8 Vantage Aston, Andy Gore came in 5th place in the 296 Ferrari, followed by myself in last and shameful place. So Wolfie, I hear you ask, how does that leave the standings in the tables? Well, as you can see on the overlay coming up now, in 1st place in the championship after 6 rounds is Andy Policott on 110 points. 2nd place is Mike Hansen on 88 points, followed by Stuart, 87 points. Will Rayson, 85 points. Myself also on 85 points, but having completed more events than Will. Then Steve Hancock, Andy Gore, Bob Jones, David Blythe and Craig Thomas. Now, the interesting thing is really that Mike Hansen is on 88 points in 2nd place after 6 races, and Steve Hancock is in 6th place on 82 points after 6 races. So it's actually quite tight. And don't forget that we also have 2 dropped rounds. So this it still could go anywhere. I think it will probably be Andy or Will Rayson who end up taking the championship, but the other places are very much up for fighting. I hope you enjoyed the video and haven't been too freaked out or put off by the new editing software, which I did sort of experiment a little bit within the film. Anyway, if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, share it, tell your mates. Feel free to subscribe. It's a good thing to do. It helps the channel. I make nothing out of it. It doesn't cost you anything. And really, that's it for now. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of Our Wolfie's Wheels. Bye.